Someone with his own.
So this is for week 2, Thursday, quarter 4, triangles, assignment 9B, which is the back side of us. Read, please.
Which of the following could represent the side lengths of your triangle? Select all that apply.
Okay, remember the two smaller sides has to be bigger than the third side, right? So could it be the first one?
Yes.
If you think about it, 11 plus 20, 17, bigger than 19? Could be that one. What about this one?
Yes.
Okay. What about this one?
Um, it's the same for now.
It's not the same. 25 plus, oh no, you're right, it's not the same. Okay. What about 13 and 14?
13 or 22.
Two smaller sides have to be added bigger than the big. Isn't 22 the bigger side? Over for this one, you put no because and explain why. This angle is and what this angle is. Let's find out first.
Okay.
Okay. Let's look at the first statement. First statement is WX is smaller than WY. Here is WX, here is WY. Look at the angles. What angle is to WX? What's opposite of WX? What angle is that? 67. Now, what angle is opposite of WY? Is that true? Is WX smaller than WY? Because 50, why? How do you know that? What's WY again? What's W? There's no 57. Well, what are you looking at? There's no 57. WY is not 67. WY. WY is this side right there. What is opposite of that? What measurement is that? What about WX? So false. I don't really know if you're just guessing or if you actually know what the fuck you're talking about. You need to go ahead and explain that. Stop twirling your pencil. Pay attention. Yeah, holy shit is correct. I was spending my Saturday night going over this shit with you. Pay attention.
Yeah, I'm literally looking at.
Right, I can look at you all day and not pay attention to you. XZ. What angle is XZ? Where is Z? Is this supposed to be Z right there? What angle is the opposite of that?
XY, 64.
What is opposite of XY?
61.
Write it down. You should be able to do this by now. So let's have you try by yourself. All right, let's take a look over here. WY is 58, is greater than YZ, which is 55. That is true. Do you see that? YZ is 55. Yeah, that's correct. Next one. XY, 61, is greater than WY. That's also true. So those are the two answers. Well, actually, WX.
67.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. Oh, wait, no, WY is, no, WY, opposite of WY is 58. And then XY is 61. What do you mean 67? What are you talking about?
You put 61, it says 60. No.
XY is 61. Does that make sense? Make sure you write what I'm writing down on your paper. You understand? Okay. All right, number 11. What is a possible value of X? Do you understand?
No, I don't understand XY. I thought it was 50. I thought the opposite of it was 55.
XY is right here. What's opposite of this side? 61. I don't fucking know. That looks really fucking weird. Okay, so it doesn't actually even matter. If I put 50, okay, I see what you're saying. So this is fucking stupid. I don't understand. The other one's 55, correct? 57. So let's just not include this one. I'll just put false. You might want to put a question mark right there for her and ask her, well, what if we use the opposite side of that? 61 is technically greater than 57. So put a question mark and maybe you can ask for that. Okay. Does that make sense? Because you see how they share the same side right there? But it's like, which one is it? Right? And see if she's able to answer that question. So just put a question mark on D. What is the possible value of X? Well, given the fact that this is probably the longest side, maybe, right? 3 plus 6 has to be greater than X, correct? 3 plus 6 is 9. Which one is bigger than 9?
11.
Yeah, that's your answer. So that's a possible answer of X. Okay, so this is the same thing. Remember, there are two different types. First part that we assume is that X is the third side, right? And it's assuming if X is the smaller and X if it's going to be the bigger side, right? There's two possibilities, correct? If X is going to be the smaller side, this one is a bigger number, correct? 26 plus X has to be bigger than 48. How do you do the other one? What if X is the bigger side? And then you just solve for X, remember?
Siblings all are NF equals 6x plus 7. FL equals 8x minus 5. And NL equals 10x minus 1.
Question.
Determine the possible values of X.
Okay, let's draw the triangle first. We did a question like this in the last page. So N, F, L. First you label it, then you label the sides. You label everything?
Mhm.
Now we're gonna set everything in equality, right?
Mhm.
Let's assume there are three scenarios. First scenario is NL is the big one, okay? So in which case you'll do 6x plus 7 plus 8x minus 5 has to be greater than 10x minus 11, right? That's your first scenario. Then you have a second scenario. Second scenario, which is the next one that you could be, is the biggest side.
6x plus 7.
Okay, so NF is the big side, right?
Mhm.
So then they use the other two sides. 8x minus 5 plus 10x minus 11 is greater than 6x plus 7, right? Solve for x. Third scenario. What will be the third scenario? Which one have we not used as a big side yet?
8x minus 5.
Yeah, so FL is the big side, right? So you're gonna do 6x plus 7 plus 10x minus 11 is greater than 8x minus 5, right? Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and solve all of them, right?
Mhm.
Well, I saw the first one, and that's a big no-go because there's no way it can be a negative, right? And we want to make sure we have one that's a no-go, right? Because we want to have two possibilities, the smallest and the biggest. That's the range, right? So then let's go ahead and solve the rest of them. Hopefully they won't give us a weird answer. Given that the first one is going to be a negative and the third one is a negative, the only one that does work is this right here. So x has to be bigger than 1.92. And that's your answer. Okay, the possibility of x is x has to be bigger than 1.92. Because you see how the first and third one all ended up in a negative number. You can't have a negative number. Okay, so that will be it. So take a look where you are. All right, so for the number 14, write inequality, describe the possible values of x and the given figure. Are those angles or is that side? What? No, X. I seriously don't want to do that. Let's just skip it and move on to the next one. 15. Based on the measurements shown on triangles ABC, AB must be, so this part right here. Well, here's the thing. Let's figure out what this angle is right here. Can we figure out what that angle is? What is that angle going to be? You know the triangle is 180. 180 minus the other two.
$75.
65. 65?
No, 16.
Okay. Now they also give you the two sides, correct? Which one's the smallest angle? 65 is in the middle, right?
Yep.
And then 68 is the biggest, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Now let's find their opposite sides. Opposite sides of 47 is
Opposite of 47 is 68.
okay. What's opposite of 65?
47.
No. Opposite of 65 degrees is not another angle. Do we know the side of AB?
No.
No, that's X. Remember? That's what we're trying to find, right? And then what's opposite of 68?
10.
10. Okay, so if 47 is 7 feet, 68 degrees is 10 feet, then 65 has to be between 7 and 10 feet, right? So which one says that?
B. Or no, B.
You understand how we got that? Okay. Okay, we're almost there. 3 more questions. Number 16. So let's locate the angles first. So grab a highlighter or a marker and figure out where those angles are. This is one angle, this is another angle, right? So let's figure out where those angles are. Those are the angles, correct?
Mhm.
Well, so then it's saying QSP, that's the first one, is something to QSR. Well, given the fact that opposite of this side is a x plus 7, and this one here is a minus 7, I would think that this one's bigger. Don't you agree? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So QSP is greater than QSR. That will make sense, right? If x is 1, x plus 1, 1 plus 7 is 8. That's going to be minus 7, it's going to be smaller, right? Okay. Number 17. Go ahead and read.
If
Measurement angle 1.
parentheses 6x minus 13 parentheses m measurement angle 2 equals 47 degrees. Determine the possible values of x.
Okay. What's the opposite side of 6x minus 13?
17.
What's the opposite side of 47?
18.
So which side is bigger?
47.
Yeah. 40 or no, 18 is bigger, right? That's a side, right? So if 18 is bigger, then your angle 47 is bigger than 6x minus 13. Does that make sense? Okay. So now let's solve it. And that's really it. You try number 18, it's exactly the same like number 17. Okay. Looking at number 18, which angle looks bigger?
28. 28.
28 is greater than 27. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Now do the same thing with the side. Which side is opposite of angle 28? And then solve. That's all you do.
Mhm.
I actually figured out number 14, so whenever you're ready, we'll talk about it.